Hey, what is up, UFC fight fans from around the world, and welcome back to another video. And in this one, we're going to be going over the fight night with Fiziev and Torres. We're going to be going over UFC 329 and any news that's been going on around the UFC. Let's start off with our picks for fight night Fiziev versus Torres. I actually went 4-2. I actually went to bed late as fuck because I did homework, and then I was gonna try to stay up, watch the fights, and I was just like, fuck this. But I only ended up falling asleep until the Bruno Ferreira fight. I saw like the last couple of minutes of that one. And let me know how you guys did on those picks for this past weekend. Noticeable and honorable things to look at from the UFC fight night. I got to see Hasbulla in a long time. We also got to see Rakhmonov in a long light because he's been injured. He got a lot of love and praise. Some other crazy highlights was the first one being in the early prelims. It was Nursultan pulling off that crazy rear naked choke, nasty choke, and the pictures and videos just from that were insane to even look at. And then literally right after, we got blessed with crazy fast KO in 8 seconds. Abdul knocking out Julius Walker. Yeah, what a crazy knockout that amount of time. We haven't seen a fast knockout since what, UFC 300? I don't even remember. We got into the main card. We saw Asu pulling off this crazy submission of a banana split, which is even crazier because we were like, me and Hidamon were talking about learning how to do that, and literally it was just insane to see it being pulled off a week later. We got into a questionable co-main event with Shara Bullet and Michael Pereira, which started out pretty slow. They were keeping their distance. You know, Pereira pulling off that first round, and Michael pulled off a good, I think was a jab, drop Shara Bullet, so that was pretty good within itself too. And then we got into the second round, which was a bullet fest. Yeah, did an amazing job with keeping his distance. He threw a lot of leg kick, and the takedown defense, or those were really good too. And then we got to the third round, which we thought the fight was gonna end pretty crazy, but we saw another Pereira not getting treated right by Herb Dean again. Shara Bullet doing all these hair pulls from bottom position, and then gets warned about it, but like a couple of seconds, minute later, he ends up poking Pereira's eye, and Herb Dean didn't do nothing about it. Although he did say he was gonna take a point off on any other foul. Didn't happen. What more could you do, I guess? Let me know, what do you guys think? Should we put a petition to get rid of Herb Dean? And lastly was main event, Fiziev and Torres. We had a good round between the two. You know, they're both landing pretty good. And then we got to the second round. Right out of the gate, Fiziev goes in and puts the pressure, throws a head kick. Next thing you know, we see Torres on the floor, full rushed, and then getting flatlined. And then Fiziev having an emotional celebration, calling out Charles Oliveira for the BMF title. A little questionable for Fiziev. He talked about how he wasn't on the ranking of the meta, I think, and you're calling out the number 3 guy in the lightweight division. So a bit questionable, but overall, I mean, I only got to see the main card, but what I did see was pretty good and kept me awake. All right, then we're gonna be getting into the UFC 329, Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway 2, and man, are we ready for that? Not only am I ready to watch the fights, but we're gonna be flying out, me and my girlfriend, getting closer and closer. I'm even getting chills and like sweaty thinking about it. Or we want to plan to go every year for International Fight Week ever since I took her for Charles Ilya. I'll talk about what happened for her. But before that, I actually went to go see Alex Pereira fight Yuri Prochazka 2 for the International Fight Week. So yeah, we just got to keep making it a constant thing. And then we did end up seeing Charles versus Max, the BMF title in March. So now we are getting ready to go see Conor McGregor and Max Holloway. And with a full backed card, I mean, amazing card. Why not be able to see all the iconic fighters of the UFC? I've already seen Alex, Ilya, Charles, Max, Pantoja, Kai Kara-France, who's that guy? Peyton Tablet, Iri Machado Gary, Kyle Bahayo, Tracy Cortez, Chiwiwis, and yeah, now we get to see Patty the Batty, which she loves, and Conor McGregor. I mean, the hype is getting so good with this fight. I mean, the interviews are looking great. Max's UFC videos are looking great on YouTube. Conor McGregor's interviews are doing great, but they look all in great shape. Another thing to highlight is that Justin will be there because he wants to do a face-off with whoever wins. And with that being said, we're gonna go right into our picks for UFC 329 International Fight Week. We're gonna start it off from the beginning to the very end. We got O'Day Osborne versus Cody Durden. I'm gonna go O'Day. Ryan Gandra versus Zachary Reese. Got Reese. We got Farid Basharat and Ethan Ewing. Gonna go with Farid right there. He looks lengthy. He looks like he is that guy. And he's undefeated. Dang, he's my height. And then we got Damian Pinas versus Cesar Almeida. Gonna go with Damian. Damian does have a better record, and we'll see what happens. And then we got Tracy versus Wong Kong. We got Tracy Cortez versus Wang Kong, the Joker lady herself. Let's see what happens. Tracy Cortez moved out to Mexico so she can lock in for the fight, higher elevation, and doing anything she can to come back off that loss. And then we're going to go into the prelims. Those were the early prelims. We're going to the prelims. We got Luke Riley versus Kai Kamaka 3. And honestly, we got another undefeated fighter with Luke Riley. And they're both coming off some wins. I'm going to pick Kai Kamaka to do the upset. Cody Garbrandt and Adrian Yanez Yanis. I just saw Cody Garbrandt live last year. That nut kicks him throwing up in the ring. I think they're both coming off a win. Oh, we got Cody Garbrandt with the last win and Adrian with the draw. Should we pick the experienced veteran with Cody Garbrandt? Oh, and we're gonna have Gable Stevens debut at the heavyweight division. He is the favorite to win by a lot, and if you guys have seen his other fights, he looks pretty good. So I wouldn't mind seeing Gable Stevenson pulling off a crazy win for his debut. Next, we got Robert Whittaker versus Nikitia. Sorry if I butchered that. I'm not gonna pick Robert Whittaker. I think he's on his downfall for the UFC. I think he's lost his last two. Yeah, and then we're gonna get into the main card. A banger fight that was announced maybe not too long ago, but was on the prelims and is now on the main card. Got King Green versus Terrence McKinney. I think Terrence McKinney is, yeah, they're both coming off wins. Are we gonna see Terrence McKinney pull off a crazy dub or King Green pulling off another crazy upset? But I am gonna pick Terrence McKinney for the dub. And then we got Brandon Royval, who's become more of that gatekeeper for the top 5, going against Loner, and he's coming off a win and is 10-1. You know, I've seen Brandon Royval put in some of that work and damage, especially in person when we saw him fight Joshua Van. What a crazy fight that was to witness live. I don't think he gets this one done either. That's just what I'm feeling. I'm gonna go with that gut feeling. And then we got Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Bautista. You know, I've not been a fan of Mario Bautista since that Jose Aldo fight. I mean, he just keeps proving all of us wrong with his fight. I'm not surprised if he beats Corey Sandhagen, especially with Corey Sandhagen coming off a loss. So even though I don't want to pick Mario Bautista, that's what I'm gonna pick to win. And then we got this banger of a co-main with BSD and Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett coming off that loss against Justin Gaethje, and I think, yeah, BSD came off that crazy win. I think it was a knockout too. This fight is clearly going to set up, and the main are going to clearly set up what happened for all of things that just happened in the UFC 250 Freedom. Let's see how it goes. Let's see who gets Ilya. Let's see who gets Justin. Let's see. Charles is waiting in the stands. So is Arman Sarukian, which I don't think he deserved. You know, I think Paddy Pimblett pulls off upset because he's an underdog. Yeah, let's see how that goes. I'm going to be picking Paddy Pimblett to pull a crazy upset and get his name still in that top 5. I know he's at 6 right now, but all right. Now for the big boy fight, we got Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway at a 170 bout. Now, I'm going to give my full thoughts on this fight. It's at 170. Max is coming off a loss. Conor came off a loss. We're going to see a classic fight, a rematch for that matter, of pure boxing. Who is the better striker? Who is the better boxer in this fight? If I had to pick somebody, and this is me being not biased, but people are going to think that I see Conor winning it. You know, this crazy year of upsets, you know, I don't put it past him one bit. It's at 170. It's a little bit of a natural weight for Max. I'm pretty sure Conor will have to drop a little bit. And then nonetheless, Max has also been not pretty good in his last 3 fights. You know, against Ilya, we know what happened there. He got dropped by Poirier, and he got tagged really good by Charles, who's a grappler. So, but, you know, Conor McGregor is underdog, and don't put it by him that he pulls off this crazy upset. Who knows? Justin will be there. Like I said before, this fight and the BSD Paddy Pimblett fight is also gonna set up what happens in the whole lightweight division. Even though the main event is at welterweight, it'll set up all the next matchups pretty clearly. But let me know who you guys have winning these fights, and especially who do you have winning this main event down below in the comment section. Yeah, can't wait to start stirring up the pot with you guys. Going based off of that, we don't have a fight card this week, so it's 4th of July. My idea for a video is that you guys leave me all your hot takes or what you guys want to hear for next week's video. So you guys do all that, drop the comments, and maybe we'll do a whole video sesh of just my thoughts. Maybe you guys want to know who my favorite fighters are, or rankings. We can do rankings. So if you guys want me to do rankings, my opinions on things, hot take, any of all of that, just let me know down in the comment section below so that we can have a video for next week. Until then, I'll see you guys later, and Conor McGregor for the dub.